Net is in Austria, so it explains why the machines have an Austrian accent.
Completely agree.
I'm not going to argue.
Check. This March Madness Picks Round of 32 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now offering a Bet the Underdog special. Bettors will receive a $25 free bet for every $50 winning wager on dogs greater than plus 300. Download the WynnBET app now or visit WYNNBet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Stable Duel. Stable Duel is a horse racing DFS app where you can play free and paid games for real cash prizes. You can win as much as $25,000 with one entry. Head over to StableDuel.com to get started today. We're also brought to you by Prop Swap, America's marketplace to buy and sell sports bets. Use promo code SGP on your first deposit to receive up to $500 in bonus cash. Head over to PropSwap.com or download the PropSwap app today. And, of course, don't forget to download the SGPN app for your chance to win $3,000 in the D-Gen Dance. Welcome, everyone, to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner of picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer? Dog?
We made it. We survived. I guess college basketball is still happening.
And everyone, I survived. A lot of people are reaching out asking, how is Kramer doing? How is he surviving now that your Hokies have been dethroned?
I'm fine. They painting the chalk. Spring football games coming up. We got Coach Pry. He's doing big things. I love this team. The whole team can return if they want to. Colby, super senior. I believe even Storm Murphy could opt to come back. So who knows? He's not going to be a top 20 pick? I was talking. Thank you. The buildings in Blacksburg were built brick by brick by the beautiful Hokie Stone. This was a second, maybe, beautiful brick laid down by Mike Young. The program's on the right path, but fuck Texas.
And they certainly laid a ton of bricks.
They clearly
to a great start, Virginia
dropped a lot of bags for the referees.
All right, here to talk college basketball. As always, host of the College Basketball Experience, Colby Dant. Colby, what's happening, my man?
I'm your leprechaun.
Oh, God.
Do we get a jig?
Yes, we need some sort of jig.
I'm your leprechaun.
If you're going to keep running the Sean Connery.
Well, Notre Dame hit. Of course I'm going to keep running it. That was our dog.
That was our dog. Let's see. You know what? Ryan had it Notre Dame money line. Well, we like Notre Dame money line technically for those keeping score at home, and thank you for everyone.
Technically.
Colby and I had Memphis on our money line.
No. We took it as a dog yesterday too.
Yeah, it's on the next.
Yeah, it's on the next sheet. So
no, I'm on second round Saturday. I thought Baylor was -5 was your lock.
Yep.
Notre Dame a +4 was your other lock. Memphis money line was your.
This is true.
Dog.
We verified
No.
this.
But I gave away both. I said
that's right.
both
Okay.
on the show. I said
He's a double dog.
I said there's gold in them there hills.
All right.
That's a hell of a leprechaun. You do, sir. Hell of a leprechaun.
What do we obviously a bunch of games have already happened. We're taping this on a Friday. First off, shout out to the Win, Blue Wire. Thanks for having us. It was an awesome week of shows. Shout out to all the listeners who met up.
Shout out to Cole.
Yes, Cole, the producer, Cole, killing it. As always, Notre Dame +4. We were all over Notre Dame +4. Wright State, Arizona is going now. Kramer and I had Arizona laying 20.5. Colby taking the Wright State +20.5.
Yeah.
And then we've just been sweating out a bunch of these first half unders. Currently,
it's a grind. It's been a grind this year, but it's only been under 500 for less than 60 minutes. And at the end of the day, like, you know, it's 58% over 10 years. So calm down. People coming at me like as if we're fucking idiots.
If it doesn't succeed in the next decade, then we'll consider adjusting the strategy. But for now, hold the line. It's 15-13-2, trending towards 15-14-2. But then we got a couple other games here closing things out.
If they're complaining after we gave them Richmond on the money line, after we gave them New Mexico State on the money line, after we gave them Notre Dame, all of us were on Notre Dame. Then I don't mean to curse, guys. What I'm saying.
I mean, just a tip for the younger kids out there. No one's ever going to thank you.
No,
you got to be willing to grind your dick off on your own. All right,
exactly. It's not going to grind itself off.
No.
Speaking of that, our contest, the D-Gen Dance, the contest is still open. We will lock it after I think Sunday night's games. And you can't be Johnny come lately. But again, if you haven't entered already, you're missing out. You start with 10,000 shares. You can kind of just bet on any of the games you want, money lines, totals, sides. Currently, our DMC 3122 is in first place with 62,500 shares. Dirty Dan is sitting there with 51,100. I think he just put all 10,000 on Richmond money line and has just been kind of waiting it out up there in the catbird seat. So that's certainly a fun strategy. You can just keep grinding out totals. Whatever you want to do, it's your ride.
As did our DMC. Started with a 10K investment on Richmond money line. Has since invested in a couple more winning picks. So
hot.
It's going to be hard to chase them down. Sean, are you on the leader? I'm certainly not. I'm having a bad day.
I'm 92. I'm hanging around. I did go large on Yale money line. More as just a statement of how awesome it would be.
It's
if
a
Yale,
GPP play.
Yeah, and again, Yale was hanging around, but they just ultimately that Eden guy or Edie guy. Edie, he was just that 7-footer. They just had no answer for him. Kind of a nightmare and honestly, I saw it coming too. Once Kentucky lost, I knew Yale was going to be cooked. Colby was hilarious in the sportsbook. I thought Yale was kind of crazy. You guys were crazy for taking it. Yeah, of course it's crazy. That's why it's 10-1. That's why it's fun.
Well, that's why when you look at the pick sheet, there's a win when I have or when I'm laying the points.
Yeah. If you're just trying to get people 1 unit, I'm trying to get people 10 units. Mega units.
Sean only deals with heavy unit plays.
Wow, and we have a bit of a comeback here for the first half under. I'm seeing our first Wright State Raiders versus Arizona Wildcats. I have it at 74. Is that correct, Ryan?
Yeah, 74.
Right now with 19 seconds left. 42 for Arizona, 31 for Wright State. We still got a chance. And if you were watching the end of the Illinois-Chattanooga first half, that was arguably one of the best sweats, where the guy missed the three. It seemed like the clock was going to run out. Chattanooga got it. They're about to do a fast break. They turned it over, and then Illinois got another shot, a deep three. Didn't hit the rim, but there was a guy going up for the rebound, caught it in the air, and then put it back. But he was like 1/10 of a second off, and that's all the difference it makes on these first half unders. If you're betting first half unders, if you're betting sides, money lines, totals, whatever it is, WynnBET has you covered. Head over to wynnbet.com. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBET. Oh, my God. So much action over on the Wynn betting app. Patrons who bet at least $500 in the first and second round of the tournament will earn one entry to a trip to Las Vegas. Are you kidding me? It would be awesome to have you guys out here. We've had a great time hanging out at the Wynn, met a bunch of listeners, had a bunch of cocktails with them as well. The Bet the Underdog special, the extra parlay bonus on the weekends. So much action over at winbet.com. Offered subject to change. Terms and conditions at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WinBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. All right, Kramer, let's do it. We're going to walk through what do we got here?
In no particular order, the remaining 4 games for Saturday. These were the games. We didn't have the matchups yet. First one up, we're going to talk about New Mexico State, 12 seed Arkansas, the 4 seed. Arkansas laying 6.5, minus 290 on the money line. New Mexico State plus 230, 138.5 is the total. Colby, you were all over this New Mexico State team in the first round. Are you carrying it over, or is it time to hop on the bus?
No, I'm carrying it over. I think it's a tough matchup look, if Vermont gave them problems, and I saw some things.
The refs clearly had Vermont in the points. Let's call it.
And the way that Arkansas game ended, so close for them to get those extra fouls at the end and get that cover, but then they chucked it up. They should have called the foul. And they didn't. They swallowed their whistles, and that was brutal for Arkansas people laying 5. Vermont got the cover there. Colby, you're on New Mexico State.
I am, and I think this is a decent matchup as far as
massive size advantage for New Mexico State.
Well, I try to warn you guys that they're super athletic. They're not your traditional, group of 5 or whatever you want to say, mid-major.
This is your grandpa's 12 seed.
Yeah, this is a team that's super athletic, and they can score, and I think the guard play matchups will be very interesting to watch, but I think they have a show. What are you doing over there?
I'm fist bumping because we just hit another first half under.
Swatting flies over there?
State, Arizona Wildcats 73, squeaking it out. And that's a game changer there. Kramer, now, I didn't mean to interrupt Colby, but we do have –
yeah, well,
it
was intentional.
Celebrate a first half.
It wasn't like you had an involuntary reaction there.
No,
right?
I felt comfortable interrupting Colby. Kramer, what are the trend is if the dog wins outright as a 7-point dog. Now, technically, we picked UConn as a 6.5-point favorite, but it closed at 7. So New Mexico won as a 7-point dog, and now they are getting more than 6 points. Isn't that one of our auto commandments here to take Arkansas laying 6.5?
Exactly. Thou shalt fade the first round upsets. Underdogs of 7 points or more off a straight up win, who are catching 6 or more again. 10-25 against the spread over the last 35 tries. So
and to Colby's point, this New Mexico team does look better than I would have than I thought. Shout out to the guys in the sportsbook going, "Let's go Lobos!" And Colby just it was just like someone bites into a lemon. The look on Colby's face, confusing. University of New Mexico with New Mexico State's team mascot. He was just appalled.
First time in the sports book.
Here's the reason why, all right? Because, look, Teddy Allen had a great game, 37 points, but their other star guard, Jabari Rice, and also Clayton Henry had kind of down games. That's not going to happen, I don't think. Again, great guard play against great guard play, but Johnny McCants is the X factor. He averages just about 2 blocks a game. 9 points, 5 boards. He hit a big 3 in that matchup the other day. New Mexico State actually charts better offensively and defensively, and much better rebounding team. New Mexico State's going to get it done on the money line as well.
No, and I test some of the stats. I would agree. Just I think on this short turnaround, them coming off that UConn win, I got to go Arkansas. I liked what I saw about that Arkansas team. That game against Vermont wasn't a great matchup for them, and I thought they played pretty well. Kind of fumbled the cover there late, but I still like what I saw about Arkansas.
Do you have the free throw numbers? Because there might be dueling commandments here.
Well,
no.
New Mexico State's been a terrible free throw shooting team all year, but not last game because Teddy Allen shot every single free throw for New Mexico State, and that's all you need when you got a guy. They didn't miss one free throw in the clutch. New Mexico State.
It's due for a regression. Yeah. You're making my point, Colby.
Well, there's one player that stood out, all right? Teddy Allen. MVP of the tournament.
I did call him the tool man because they kept showing the T. Allen, and I couldn't help but thinking of buddy Tim Allen. So I'm sticking on Arkansas minus 6.5.
Arkansas is on the short list of teams that I really like. I like the coaching edge. And frankly, in a game that might be a rock fight, I'll normally take the dog, but I'm going to listen to the Commandments. They've been pretty strong so far this year, Sean.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'll say is New Mexico State beat a UConn team that, in hindsight, pretty fraudulent-looking team. So that's why the Commandment is what it is. Next game, Sean. And just for the record, Colby, you are taking New Mexico State.
Yes, and I'm sprinkling some on the money line.
St. Mary's the 5 seed, UCLA the 4 seed. Little West Coast battle up in Portland. Hopefully Bill is up there taking in the festivities. -2.5.
Soaking up all the majesty that the Pacific Northwest, the conifer trees emerge and the roots sucking up nutrients like the Bruins suck up rebounds on the offensive glass. We are going to photosynthesize an amazing game for you today.
Somewhere in there would have been a Grateful Dead drop.
At what point do you listen?
The Scarlet Begonias come out to play here in the great Jewel City of Portland, Oregon.
You really have to take in a late-night ESPN college basketball game because Bill Walton is an absolute legend. And if anyone listens to him and is still anti-weed, you really need to look in the mirror. -2.5, minus, I'm guessing this is supposed to be 150 plus 125 on the money line for St. Mary's. 126 is the total. St. Mary's looked really good.
They are really good. That's what most people don't realize because Gonzaga wins that conference every year. There's a reason why they split with Gonzaga, and this St. Mary's team is legit. I do think this is a scary game because Akron really had their chance to beat UCLA down the stretch there. You could make the case that Akron probably played the better game. But UCLA in the clutch is a very good team, and they've showed that for 2 years. Tiger Campbell with some big-time threes. I'm going to go UCLA in the clutch. They're going to get it done, some free throws at the end. But I expect this to be kind of a tie game with about 4 or 5 minutes left.
Well, and again, I have UCLA winning my bracket, and I locked up Akron. So I was really sweating out this middle because Akron was hanging around with them, kind of how I thought. It felt like a classic game where UCLA could kind of look past them, and Ali was a dog, and he was going to keep them in that game, and he did. Eventually, just the talent disparity was too much for the Zips, but I think that was a perfect game for UCLA as they go in this tournament run. They needed a wake-up call. They needed to be challenged.
Yeah.
This team can get complacent at times, and I think that was the perfect wake-up call. Meanwhile, St. Mary's, I mean, that was barely a game. And to their credit, they played an Indiana team. In hindsight, maybe should have factored in the quick turnaround, the travel for Indiana. St. Mary's looked well-rested and not a bad team at all, but UCLA -2.5 is just too short of a number.
This is a bad matchup for UCLA, right?
It's
Colby?
a scary game. It is a scary game, man.
The strengths of I think it's one of these areas like St. Mary's defense should be able to slow down. I guess the 3-point line maybe UCLA gets hot. Maybe you just fade a team that won by 40 versus a UCLA team that looks surprising. Look, this is a heart pick. I'm taking UCLA. I think they are not losing this game, and much like Providence, 2.5 points is basically a money line. Give me UCLA.
Yeah. No, I would love to fade these teams coming up, with the exception of maybe like a Texas Tech or, I'm looking to fade some of these teams coming off massive victories.
All right. Next up, St. Peter's. The Cacos from Jersey. Now they're catching 9. It's Murray State. You guys were high on Murray State to advance pretty far. Murray State laying 9, -5 or 450 on the money line, 350 for St. Peter's. That feels small for a money line for a 9-point spread. 130 is the total. Another commandment here. Right, Murray State is laying 9, so St. Peter's is catching 6 or more the first round, 7 or more the second round. This is an auto play, right? We don't take the heartstrings of watching this St. Peter's team shock the world. Second 15 seed in back-to-back or in 2 years to win. Yeah, you fade it.
I mean, the St. Peter's story is great. They won their Super Bowl. They beat Kentucky, and now you don't even have that week layoff. I mean, again, this is why we came up with these commandments, Ryan, situations like these. Yeah. Murray State is an insane lock. I mean, once in a blue moon, there's a Florida Gulf Coast that really just truly shocks the world. This St. Peter's team played very well, but again, that was their moment. Congrats to them for knocking off Kentucky and destroying everyone's bracket. Not mine because I had UCLA beating them. But
what does Murray State do really well? I mean, this is the key matchup. They defend the 3-point line. So I think we saw St. Peter, they got hot, they made their threes. They got a guy that looks like Einstein out there shooting threes. Lots of memes were made.
And shout out to Colby, who I think he tweeted out the video of the lady. Wait, was it actually
She brings a peacock on a plane?
Yes. A giant peacock on an airplane.
And someone else says, like, hey, is that a therapy?
Is that a service animal?
Yeah, service animal therapy, yeah. And she responds, yes, it is.
Wait, now, 100% she was someone coming from the game or going to the game?
No.
Oh, it was just unrelated peacock video.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's even funnier.
That's so great. That video was amazing. But, yeah, Murray State -9 is, I mean, how do you not lock this guy up?
Well, don't we have to at least talk about it? I mean, St. Peter's plays defense.
No.
Murray State doesn't shoot free throws.
I am on St. Peter's. I mentioned this on the college experience weeks ago. I didn't think they would beat Kentucky. I thought Kentucky would cover. But all year, I said this St. Peter's team can play. And I was ready to take them if they didn't draw Kentucky. This is a team that's legit. They're not a flash in the pan. They went down to Richmond, lost by one, I think, to VCU. All year, they have been a good team. I'm going to take the 9.
I just think they're look at how much they turn the ball over in the season as well. If we're just going to go off matchups, I love the angle of just fading them off that win. But if you want to look at like advanced metrics here, turnover percentage, St. Peter's 317th in the nation, Murray State 57th in turnover percentage as far as creating turnovers on defense. St. Peter's, their shooting performance was an outlier. They're 315th in the country at 2-point percentage, 272nd at the free throw line. Like I think we just saw a outlier of a game from this St. Peter's team.
I disagree. I think they've been good all year. I think the MAAC has been good all year. Ooh. I think the Ohio Valley has a lot of lemons. So I think you can bump up those stats. I am on St. Peter's plus the points here, and then Shaheen Holloway doing a great job. Remember him used to play at Seton Hall back in the 90s. I think the guy knows how to coach too. I think St. Peter's can cover this. I think they're a live dog as well.
No, I'm going to listen to the commandment. I will say this: the two games that we've discussed that deal with the thou shalt fade the first round upset, the number is probably 2 points big for both games.
Yeah.
But let's stick to the. I think people are listening, Sean. We gotta be quiet about these commandments. It's altering the way we can bet on these.
I was
games.
looking outside to actually see people.
I mean,
walking past the studio.
Murray State. Okay, they beat San Francisco by 5. They beat Morehead State by 4. These are their last games. Southeast Missouri State by 2. They're terrible, right? UT Martin by 2. They're not very good. Morehead State again by 4. Now Morehead's a solid team, but Austin, or they did blow out Austin Peay. But UT Martin, Southeast Missouri State, those are not good teams. I think St. Peter's can win this game.
Let's go. Last game on Saturday, Creighton, Kansas, the 9 seed, catching 11.5. 480 is the money line. Kansas minus 700. 139.5 is the total. I mean, how can we continue to get behind this Creighton team with the continued injuries, broken Cockbrenner? What's next? On the other hand, we're looking at Bill Self in the round of 32.
I know. Well, I don't want either part of these teams, but I think my default is to just go dog here with Creighton, with the idea, and I know the injuries are going to be such an issue, but and I do think the spread probably should be like a point or two higher, but I think Creighton has enough pride that maybe they rally around some of the guys that are out, and they have a real fight to them, this Blue Jays team. So I'm going to take them catching the 11.5. Certainly easy to make they don't shoot the 3-ball well. They do turn the ball over, so they could be in trouble that way. But I just think 11.5 is too much to give to this team. Colby?
Yeah, it's an interesting spot because Creighton is playing with house money.
That's also true.
They're in a situation where no one's going to expect them to win, especially with Cockbrenner now out too. So they're just going to go. If I was the coach, I'd be like, guys, just go play the game that we love. Yeah. And I think in a situation like that, you become a dangerous dog. not to win the game, I don't think, but as to make it way more competitive than we would think. So for that reason alone, I'll take the points, even though I probably shouldn't.
They truly do have nothing to lose, which can work in your favor, but then also you can just hit that wall in like early in the second half and just pack it in.
Kansas does also, they're aware that, Creighton is missing a couple players. So maybe they're thinking about the Sweet 16. Is this a rare look-ahead spot in the round of 32 in the
Probably.
NCAA? Bill Self Classic, the look-ahead.
McDermott's an underrated coach, too. He gets the like this year, they were not supposed to be a tournament team. He got the maximum out of this team this year.
All right. You want to move over to Sunday, Sean?
Yeah, let's move over to Sunday. I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about anything first. We're good.
Well, Ryan, you know what you asked, and I'm here to tell you. Let's talk Manscaped.com. Promo code SGP. Get 20% off and free shipping for all your manscaping needs. I'm out here in Las Vegas. Brought my Manscaped travel bag. Very nice travel bag. Spring is here, setting the clocks forward. Also, perfect time to do some spring cleaning in your basement, a.k.a. your pubes. Clean up and, again, complete your grooming game this spring with the new Refined Cologne Signature Scent by Manscaped. This stuff is legit and will have you smelling like royalty. I know that for a fact. The king, the queen, their genitals smell amazing. I can't confirm that they use Manscaped.com, but one could only assume because
it's real royalty.
How amazing they smell. Head over to Manscaped.com. Use the promo code SGP. Get 20% off and free shipping. Manscaped.com. Promo code SGP. Also brought to you by PropSwap.com, where America goes to buy and sell real sports tickets. Again, maybe you had Kentucky winning it all. Maybe you could have sold your Kentucky ticket at halftime, guaranteed yourself a profit, certainly wouldn't have lost money. That's what's so fun about PropSwap.com. You don't need to win the bet for you to make money because you can buy the ticket, sell it at a profit. PropSwap.com, promo code SGP, get that instant deposit match, dollar for dollar, up to $500. PropSwap.com, promo code SGP.
All right, let's head over to Sunday. Ohio State, the 7 seed. Villanova, the 2 seed. Villanova -5.5, -220 on the money line, plus 180 for Ohio State. 132.5 is the total. Ohio State did what they needed to do. They shut down Loyola Chicago. Villanova covered the spread against the Blue Hens.
They got a little scared too. That Villanova team got a little scared. Closed the end of the first half really strong. Guy next to me who was pretty hammered goes, I'm definitely on Villanova second half. He got down on it, and that hit as well, covering both numbers there. And you really saw the talent, why I'm on this team to possibly win it all. I have a future bet on Villanova as well. Have them beating UCLA in the championship. Just an experienced team. They got Gillespie going. Jay Wright's dialed in. And I didn't like anything I saw about Ohio State, really.
Well, EJ Liddell, besides him.
Yeah. But overall, I wasn't super impressed by Ohio State. I thought it was more just simply Loyola couldn't hit a shot to save their life. They got some decent looks. They just couldn't go in. They're not a team, to your point, Kramer, they're not a team that can come back from a big deficit. No. And they just found themselves in a hole, and they just never figured it out. It was almost as if there was a supernatural force. Every sort of shot was a brick. Every sort of free throw. They were 1 of 8 from the free throw line. Clearly, there were forces at work. Colby insulted Sister Jean, commenting on her appearance.
If I insulted her appearance, you called for a murder.
No, I did not call for a murder. I said she may pass away and her life would inspire Loyola to go on a run.
Sean may have talked about it, but you may have just killed her.
Colby's tweeting out photos of her saying she looks like she had some Jaeger bombs.
Do we know what happens?
She needed a cup of coffee.
Why were people saying that's messed up?
What happens to Sister Jean when Loyola goes out in the first round? We don't know.
No, we don't.
They brought her all the way there.
Well, maybe she can get to my cameo. I did order a Sister Jean bobble doll, assuming they would win the first game, hit my lock, and then I would have Rambler fever once again.
I can't believe they lost.
But they lost, so I'm not really that excited about the bobblehead, which should be coming this week.
Couple things to add to Sean, hilariously trying to objectively justify why he's on Villanova. Villanova, what do? They shoot the three. What does Ohio State fail to do well? Defend the three-point line. I just don't think Loyola was the team to beat them there. So, stick to the free throws, stick to a team that takes care of the ball, stick to the coaching edge probably. I'm laying so much chalk here. It's hard to breathe.
You are laying a ton of chalk. Illinois, unfortunately, making it a game. Now only down 1 against our Mocs. 10-0 run for the Illinois fighting. Oh, man.
The Fighting Illini. You can say it, buddy.
I like how he pulled the ripcord on that one.
Yeah. I mean, look, Villanova, though, E.J. Liddell is going to be a mismatch for them because the weakness of Villanova is the bigs, and E.J. Liddell is one of the best players in the country. But at the end of the day, I'll take Jay Wright over Chris Holtman all day. I'm gonna go chalk with Nova.
Yeah, just the 3-point shooting. All right, 10 seed Miami, Auburn 2 seed. Auburn laying 7.5, minus 350 on the money line, plus 270 for Miami. 144.5 is the total. I got to imagine that dude's leg is going to be a little sore for this game, the guard for Miami. But, I mean, it was we talked about it on the show when we discussed Miami USC. Miami's guard play versus the size of USC. And I think with this one, which team do you want to bet? Which team do you trust that backcourt more on? I don't know. Is it used cars fade? Do we fade the used car sales?
No, I'm gonna buy that 84 Plymouth. Look, first off,
you got a bunch in the garage already.
Yeah, Jabari Smith. How about that dunk? Holy shit!
Oh man, the 360.
Oh man, just a filthy dunk. No, I think Auburn just look. I mean, maybe Miami. They surprised me today, and they played a lot better than I thought they were going to play. But in Auburn, they're. Jacksonville State didn't belong in the tournament, so Bruce Pearl sold the committee a few Plymouths. So they got a gift. They got a gift there. That game should have never happened, and maybe Miami can give them a run for their money. But I think Auburn just the bigs of Auburn are just too much against Miami, who doesn't have any elite big play at all. So I'm gonna lay the points with the Tigers.
I'm taking Miami. I like that they had a sweat. They had a game against USC. And you talk about them not being able to handle bigs. I thought they did a great job playing against USC's size, which was their big advantage. I think their guard play can keep them in the game. And I like the fact that they're, 7.5 to me feels like a lot for this Auburn team, who in my mind is kind of set to disappoint at some point in this tournament. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami's a live dog here. Love them getting 7.5.
All right, you sold me. Give me Miami plus 7.5.
Wow, didn't take much. You didn't feel good being on Auburn.
Well, they just it's tough to tell. Like I hit on Auburn today against Jacksonville State, but it's tough to tell if that win means anything. The Auburn that we know that hasn't played in the jungle or outside of the jungle. Throw today's game out because they're really playing a team that didn't belong. And look at the other ones: Georgia, Missouri. When they went to Tennessee, when they went to Arkansas, they haven't performed well away from the jungle. So you're selling me. Give me Miami plus the 7.5.
Welcome to the jungle.
I guess let's keep an eye on any injury news with Miami. But yeah, I'm with you. I think. Those were some dogs. There were some dogs on Miami, and to the point.
They had a couple dogs.
My initial point was simply to say, like, USC has size just like Auburn. And the size didn't really it showed up for a couple of short bursts, but really the runs for USC were 3-point shooting.
I think Auburn's bigs are a lot better than USC's bigs.
Of course. Yeah. But just as a concept, it worked for Miami. All right. So we're all taking the dog?
Yep, let's go. Dog.
Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, they got it done on St. Patrick's Day. That was really obvious. Now the 11 seed takes on Texas Tech. -8 for Texas Tech, -365 on the money line. Notre Dame plus 280, 132.5 is the total.
To be clear, though, they didn't play on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it's St. Patrick's weekend, Sean.
Okay,
Stop being angry about St. Patrick's.
I'm your leprechaun.
Texas Tech by 1 million. Notre Dame just played a bad team. I mean, if you watch this Alabama game, Notre Dame
Alabama really bottomed out.
They won because Notre Dame's a well-coached team that took advantage of the situation and made their shots. Alabama was just playing, like the videos that Colby gets angry about when he sees high school basketball and they're just shooting from midcourt. Like, that's all Alabama does, and they don't take care of the ball. Like, the matchup couldn't be different than this Texas Tech defense that's going to lock them down. It's going to make it impossible to score, and the length is a problem. So
yeah, I mean, I don't like any of the matchups for Notre Dame. I guess I'm slightly worried that maybe Texas Tech was feeling themselves with that game. I mean, they had guys doing like 360 dunks at the end of the game.
Sean, because they can.
I'm high on Texas Tech. I have them in my Final Four. Notre Dame shot the ball really well, but this is 3 games in 6 days here. I think their legs might get a little tired, so I'm taking Texas Tech.
The one last thing I'll add is that Texas Tech, the thing they do well on offense is get the ball inside, and that's the thing that Notre Dame, that's a weakness from Notre Dame.
Yeah, and Alabama didn't do that at all.
Because they're shooting from half court.
Well, Texas Tech had a great shooting day, and that's not going to happen again consecutively.
Here we go.
I'm on Notre Dame in the points. Notre Dame shoots the 3 ball incredibly well. I know Texas Tech defends really well, but also, look, Notre Dame's got the 50th offense in the country. Texas Tech is way back there, so I think Notre Dame's offense will be able to stay somewhat in this game. Give me the Irish to cover this thing. I think the Red Raiders will get the win. Notre Dame will keep them on their heels, though.
I feel like Alabama.
I'm looking at the numbers.
I'm your leprechaun, Sean.
Notre Dame fits my system. 6. I think I said 4 to 7 point spreads.
There's gold in these hills.
There's a very big free throw differential. I'm going to take Notre Dame to get that late cover because they hit their free throw. So give me Notre Dame +8.
Sean, just FYI.
Fantastic, Sean.
Notre Dame 75.6. Texas Tech 69.8.
Just as an FYI, Sunday is not St. Patrick's Day, so unlikely.
I know when St. Patrick's Day is.
This game's in San Diego, Kramer. All right.
There's no gold at the end of that rainbow, Ryan.
There's a lot of gold down in San Diego.
Gold.
Texas, the 11 seed, horns down. They're catching 4 points against the 3 seed Purdue. Purdue is -190. Texas +160. 132.5 is the total. Kind of as soon as Purdue won, felt like it was going to be a sprint to the window to bet against Purdue in the second round. Would love to hear what Colby has to say. Texas impressed me. I think they'll be able to play physical with this Purdue team.
Yes,
on the inside, and the guards for Texas impressed me. Now, it felt like they were a little hot from behind the arc compared to what they normally are.
Once they hit that half court shot, and Kramer just immediately walked away and burned the heater, and it's just like, ugh. You could tell they were
what am I gonna do? What the fuck kind of bullshit is that?
Well, really, I knew it was due. It was done. Did I already mention the fan that jinxed them at the bar? Who goes, "It doesn't matter if we lose. We still won the ACC tournament." And I go, "Oh, God damn it! Now I know 100% Texas is winning this game. What am I doing backing Virginia Tech?"
Texas, guys, in this matchup, this is one when we were forecasting stuff, and I know we went through it on the College Basketball Experience, but I said, man, if Texas gets past Virginia Tech, I think it's a really bad matchup for Purdue. Texas plays defense really, really good. There's a reason they were preseason top 10. They're extremely deep. They brought in a ton of transfers. I think Texas can win this game, and I'm going to take them to +4 and hit that money line. Let's go Longhorns. That's disgusting.
I mean, these are both two teams I wanted to fade. I wasn't as high on Texas as Colby. I mean, I had Yale beating Purdue, so obviously not super high on Purdue. That was, again, the length was just way too much for Yale to handle. It's tough because I'm with Kramer. Like, the shooting in that second half for the Longhorns, I don't know if that's sustainable against Purdue.
Well, in fairness, there was a little regression. The Hokies kind of held them down in the first half. So I wouldn't say that the only thing that seemed strange to me was the rate at hitting the 3-point shots, but they seemed like
they're not going to need to do that, though.
Yeah.
Purdue's defense is much worse than Virginia Tech's. It's 218th. Meanwhile, Texas's defense is 17th, and I even think those stats are jaded a little bit. Remember, this was Transfer U, so the beginning of the season numbers, first off, they were bringing in a new coach, so brand new system, brand new philosophy. Then all those players coming in, they're playing better defense towards the end of the year. Longhorns win it.
Yeah, I mean, dare we say, Colby, wrong team favored?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep looking for opportunities to favor.
Horns
Purdue.
up. Horns up.
Yeah.
Let's go hard.
Yeah,
Let's go.
What am I doing? I'm doing it wrong.
I'm not eating meat until Texas wins the national championship. I stand with you. What's the name of the bull?
Gosh, what do you,
The mascot has a name at Texas.
Oh,
right?
I don't remember.
I stand with the bull.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey.
I stand with Matthew McConaughey.
Is that the bull's name?
All right,
Probably.
all right, all right.
It's actually Matthew McConaughey 12. They've gone through 11 already. All right. That's the 8 games we can talk about already.
Time for the Lock, and Dog, brought to you by StableDuel.com, the ultimate dog when it comes to horse racing DFS. Oh, man, StableDuel.com. Again, if you want that extra action, and I know plenty out there looking for an extra bonus sweat, StableDuel can get you set up. At the very least, just head over to StableDuel.com, get the account going, and play some of the free games. I really think, I know this audience, and I think they would like DFS horse racing.
Yes.
Very fun, very easy to put together your stable. Kramer and I did the live stream. The sweat was amazing. It was real. It was, again, it's everything that's fun about the ponies, but you can stretch it out through an entire day, similar to how you do with like a DFS football lineup. Very fun to play. Download now over at StableDuel.com and see how many winners you can pick in your stable. I'll see you in the winner's circle. Play, race, win.
God damn it, man. I'm trying to see this, trying to hear this.
I almost
Colby's trying to. Colby's trying to.
Cole and the producers in the booth. Cole was locked on. I made a little eye contact with Cole. He saw it coming. Yes, exactly.
All right. Lock. Texas Tech -4.
Wait, what are you talking about? Texas Tech's an 8-point
Texas
favorite.
Tech -8.
Kramer just
See what he's
gave
trying to
himself
do there?
We're not doing college basketball teasers.
Lock. UCLA -2.5.
Like that.
Dog. Texas. Horns up. Let's go, Matthew. Matthew 12. They should bring the bull to the basketball arena. That'd be a real strong message. Just have it standing in the fucking alley. All right.
For my lock, give me Murray State -9. Just riding the commandments there. And for my other lock, Villanova -5.5. Thou shalt not fade Villanova. For my live dog,
That's not a commandment.
No,
please don't anger God.
I'm going Hurricanes on the money line. Auburn was set to disappoint at some point in this bracket, and it might come against this Miami Hurricanes team. Like the spot, like some of the matchups, and I like that they dealt with USC's size. I think they get the outright win. That's a nice, juicy money line. Colby?
We are going to lock up Texas +4. We are going to lock up Villanova -5.5. And the dogs, I'm giving you 2 because I'm doing. This is what I do. All
Double
right?
dog.
Break
Double
the
dog dare you. All right. We are going to go New Mexico State dog. Well, actually, you know what? Let's do 3. Texas dog. St. Peter's dog.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
I guess Colby's going to give out 3 dogs.
It was one of these your official dog, or are they all your dogs?
Well, we can give him all. He can have 3 dogs.
Okay. So you can go 0 for 3.
He's a
on
dog
this
lover. He's a dog lover.
Nah, a couple of these might hit. I would, and if you like 3 money line dogs, I highly suggest the round robin money line action. That's pretty fun.
It's a strong
I'll see
set.
you at the finish line, all right? And it's not too late to enter the D-Gen dance, all right?
The DJ dance,
Not too late
still
to enter.
firing, and merch madness. That's right. We're going to be giving away a bunch of SGP hoodies. All you got to do is go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/merch madness, all lowercase MERCH madness. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/merch madness. We will be back in our LA studio for a full week of shows. Wow, we may have another first half under. The booth, of course, has been killing it. Thanks to the awesome Blue Wire crew here at the studio, and thanks to the Win for having us here. Always enjoy it. Look forward to coming back for the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
LSU Iowa State goes under 17-13-2.
Kramer, let it ride. Unders are heating up.